In this video, I'm going to show you how to start with $100 and build a successful dropshipping store in just 30 minutes. And dropshipping is the perfect business to start with $100 because you don't have any employees, you don't have a brick and mortar shop, you don't have any inventory, you have basically no expenses, a very lean business, and it allows you to adapt very quickly, and you don't even buy the product until after the customer buys it from you. So you're able to start off with very low risk and very low overhead with tremendous upside when you find a good product and make a really good ad. And we think that's absolutely essential to dropshipping. And I think a lot of people out there spend far too much time learning and studying, and they have what's called paralysis by analysis, where you're on the sidelines watching all these videos, waiting for the perfect time to get into dropshipping. And honestly, that is right now. There's never been a better time to start dropshipping. There are so many tools available to help you make ads, to manage email lists, to do anything else you might want to do with dropshipping. It really is a fantastic time to start. And we want to give you a concise video. The goal of this video is to teach you everything you need in just 30 minutes. Because as somebody once told me when I was starting my very first business, they said the best way to succeed in business is to be in business, which sounds counterintuitive. But really what that means is you can only learn so much on the sidelines. You're going to learn so much more when you start your first business and really start going through this. And so that's the goal in this video, to just get you started with what we think is the absolute essential, everything you need to know. And then from there, you can iterate, you can learn, and you can grow your business well beyond $1 million. So with that being said, I recommend taking notes and following along with this video click by click so that at the end, you have a dropshipping store up and running and ready to go. So we're going to start off with the most important part of this entire dropshipping business, and that is the central hub, that is Shopify. And Shopify is typically $29 per month. We have a link in the description below, an affiliate link that can give you Shopify for $1 per month. That also helps us at no cost to you to keep this information free, so we never have to hide information behind a paywall. So if you appreciate the free information, it would be great if you went through that link to get started. Like I said, it starts you off at $1 per month. We're going to go to santrelmedia.com/Shopify. You could either type that in or you could go through the link in the description. You can copy and paste it, and that'll bring you to a page that looks something like this. Sometimes this changes a little bit, but we're going to type in our email address. Then it's going to ask us a couple questions. I'm going to click skip all. It really doesn't matter what you're doing right there. It only changes your dashboard a little bit, but we don't need that for this video. Now we can say sign up with email, and we're going to make a password. And now it's going to be building our store. Now, what we really like about Shopify is that you're able to start with a theme, basically a fully built template that you just put in your product, your text, and your own images, and it's beautiful. It's ready to go. It also integrates with so many platforms out there. So the first thing we want to do from Shopify before we're able to integrate anything or really do much with this, we want to select a plan. You see two options there to select a plan, but just in case those pop-ups are not there, you can click on that right now if you want. But if it's not there, you can go to settings and you can click on plan and you can select a plan right here. Say choose plan. Now, I recommend don't even bother looking at the other ones. I'll have a link below. Once you start selling more, the link is a little calculator tool that I made to calculate when it's worth it to upgrade, when that little percentage saved on credit card fees justifies the price difference. But when you're getting started out, we're going to start with the basic plan right here. I'm going to enter my credit card information and subscribe. And like I said, free trial in the beginning, then $1 for the next month, and then you can see $39 because I have this toggled off. If you want to do the annual plan, it bumps it down to $29 per month, but you do have to pay that all at once. So in the beginning, I usually like to keep it at monthly. So I'm going to click on subscribe. Now we can input some basic business details, say save, and that'll bring you back to your Shopify dashboard. Now we don't need POS right now. We're going to skip that. So now what we're going to do is go down to online store. This is really cool because this is going to be doing so much of the work for you. We can click on add theme, visit theme store. We're going to browse the themes. There's about a dozen or so free themes as well as some paid ones. So explore themes. We're going to click on free. You don't need to pay for one when you're getting started. The paid ones are really cool, but I'm going to go down and browse through these. I really like this one right here for a single product website. I'm going to click on origin. I'm going to try this theme. Now, whichever one you choose, it doesn't matter. They won't change the rest of this video. It's all the same tools, but I'm going with this one. Choose whichever one you like best. Okay, now while it's adding that theme, in the meantime, I'm going to click remove password. The password is now removed. Now, this is the step most people miss, and they wonder why their theme is not there. We want to make sure we click on publish so that it swaps out the new theme for the default theme that it came with. So we're going to say publish. Now origin is our main theme right there. So now the next step is to find our product. Now, the way we're going to do that is on the left side. If we go down to add apps, the first app that we want to add is Autods. So we're going to go Shopify store, go to the Shopify store. And from here, we're going to type in Autods. Autods right here. We're going to click install. And now we're going to click install again. Now that brings you up to the plan right here. We're going to close out of this. And in another tab, we're going to go to santrelmedia.com/Autods. And that brings you to this page right here. So I'm going to enter my email. Then we can say we want to sell on Shopify. And at this point, this shows us the pricing structure. We can just go back to the other tab on Shopify where it showed this pricing structure there as well. And we have 3 different options to choose from. So now Autods partnered with us on this video, but we would not recommend any software unless we really believed it was a powerful tool that would really benefit you. So there are 3 different plans here. Before we get into them, kind of highlighting what Autods is and what they do, Autods is going to be your supplier, your fulfillment. So rather than the old days of ordering from AliExpress, which, hey, if you want to do that, you totally can, but it's going to take maybe 2 months for a product to get from your supplier all the way to the end customer. And they're going to be very disappointed by that. You're going to have a lot of refunds. You're going to have a lot of negative reviews on all of your ads and things like that. You don't want to have that. So Autods can deliver in less than a week, substantially faster. And they also allow you to connect to many different platforms. If you decide you want to sell not on Shopify, maybe on Etsy or eBay or anywhere else, you can do that using Autods. In addition, they have some awesome product research tools. And so they just make everything so much easier for dropshipping. They're like the all-in-one stop. And that's why we recommend working with Autods. So we have 3 different plans here. Some of the main differences between them, you'll see price and stock monitor you don't get with the Import 200, but you still get a lot of like the product research tool. You still get order manager, product manager, image editor. You get a lot of this stuff with the 200. But if you go up to the 500, let's go down here, you'll get things like, for example, the full product editor. Also, you'll have custom branding on there, which is really nice. You'll allow bulk changes if you have a lot of products and different things like that. So I'm going to go with the starter 500. You can do it with the import 200 when you're getting started. $20. Like I said, it's good to save money when you're getting started, and maybe that's going to be the best plan for you. I'm going to go with this one for now just to kind of showcase all of the features that I think might be helpful in here. And I'm going to click on continue. And now this subscription is managed through Shopify, which is nice. You don't have to type in your payment information again. I'm going to click on approve. And once that's done, we can go to the dashboard. We're going to close out of that. So remember I said there was a 4-step process for dropshipping. The first step is going to be finding a home run product. That's what we're doing right now. Once we have that, this will automatically connect to Shopify. And step number 2 is building out a professional storefront, which is already, as we saw, mostly done. That's a very easy step in this video. The third step is going to be an absolute essential one, which is making an ad that convinces people and converts and drives a lot of sales. That's going to be the most important part of this. And then the 4th step is going to be studying, iterating, and improving and repeating the process like that. So with that being said, let's kind of take a look at how to find a good product. There's a couple things we want to keep in mind. First of all, you want your product to be easy to ship. That means it's going to be compact. It's not going to be a gigantic, heavy, like battery bank, for example, that costs $100 to ship. It's also not going to be something that is likely to have returns. You don't want something that is likely to break. You also don't want it to be a one-time thing. For example, like solar eclipse glasses are really likely for people to return them the day after the eclipse and say, hey, I'm within 30 days, I don't need these anymore, and they're going to try to send them back. So you don't want things like that. The third thing is it has to solve a problem. It has to make someone's life better. It has to be something that they really believe they need. And there's really a couple main things that people find that they really need. If you're selling health, wealth, love, or happiness, those are 4 things that people will pay money for no matter what. Health is a really easy one to look at. So if you have, for example, any type of anti-aging like skin cream, if you have something that prevents gray hair, if you have something that just otherwise makes people look or feel healthier, you're going to see a lot of sales in products like that. Another one would be wealth or status. If you're able to sell something that makes people feel more important, like they have more status, like they're more appreciated, that's another great one as well. And for any of those, you want to choose a specific niche. Now, a good example that I like to use is golf. That's a niche that people, it gives them happiness. They absolutely love golf and they want to be better. So it makes them feel more important when they're able to outperform their friends when they're playing golf. And that's something that you know is a very sticky niche, because if you ever look it up, this is a good test that I like to do. If you go on TikTok or on YouTube or on Instagram, and if you just look it up once, if it suddenly populates your entire explore page or your entire browse page, then that is going to be a very sticky topic. That means the algorithms know that people who are a little bit interested in that, very quickly become very obsessed with that. And golf is a perfect example, I would say. So there are a couple ways we can find a product. The first way is going to be just browsing through Autods. They do have a lot of great products you can just find through here. They also have some cool things like trending products down here, TikTok spy tool. I'm going to buy the product finding hub. It's $5.49. Let's confirm this. And this unlocks a really cool tool, TikTok Spy. And we can filter by likes, by impressions, by interactions, the CTA, source. We can learn a lot about what is working on TikTok, what products are selling well, and really filter through a lot to dig into that. So if we want to find something that has maybe more than 20,000 likes, it has a better than 1% interaction rate, or more than 5% interaction rate. And you can filter by organic or advertising. So let's go to advertising for now. And we can check out keywords as well. So this could be maybe like TikTok made me buy it. TikTok made me buy it. That could be one. Or you could look at really whatever you want. So golf would be another keyword maybe if you know you're selling something in this niche, for example. And so you can really dig into a lot of ads and see just like what's working based on these different criteria. Additionally, now that we paid for that little upgrade, we can also go to trending products and learn a lot more about these trending products down here. You get all these extra metrics on all of them. So how many were sold, the profit, the reviews, the selling price, the interaction rate. And so you can really filter. And again, if nothing else, at the very least, learn from what other people are doing and what's working, or, get some inspiration here on what you could possibly sell yourself as well. And if we go to hand-picked products, you can see quite a few products. Once again, a lot of analytics on all of these, some insights on the engagement score, the saturation score. So you want to find something that is not very saturated, but has very high engagement. So again, just a really cool filters that you can do on here as well. So let's go back to Autods. We're gonna look through this in a second. But what I want to do is mention a second option, which is to go over to TikTok ads. Now, this, a lot of times by the time that ads do really well, it might be a little bit late. So you want to find something that's kind of on the up and coming, but not giant yet. And so what I recommend doing is kind of customizing these right here. So changing objective to conversions. We can say last 7 days instead of last 30 days. We can say English. We can say non-Spark ads. And then for likes, we're looking for like a couple thousand likes. We don't want 57,000 likes. That's pretty far along. So this will take some time. You can really find a lot of ads. You want to find ones so you want to look for things like this one right here. So 9,000 likes, pretty good. You want not too many likes. 9,000 is kind of on the upper end. Top 2% of CTR means like basically everybody who's watching this is clicking through. So you can look at this. Not only you're going to learn a lot more about what is doing well with this, but also this is a product that people really like. So lawn care, that's a very sticky product. People love investing in lawn care. So this is one option right here. But let's go back to Autods and let's talk about some different niches. The next thing you want to do is think about the niche. Now, I recommend it should be something that you are in, something that you yourself would be a buyer in. You'll have a better intuition and it'll just be easier for you to connect with that audience. Some people are good at selling things that are just completely unrelated to them. Like I would really struggle to sell female beauty products, but hey, some people can do that. So for me, I'm going to look at niches that I think are very, very lucrative. So things that people spend a lot of money on, that are really nice impulse buy, that are easy for people to be excited about and browse. So for me, electronics would be a good one. I actually have a tech review channel, so I know a lot about that. A second one would be maybe golf. I just started golfing this past summer, and I know people spend a ton of money on golf. And there's a couple others as well, but I want to start with those two right there. So let's start off with electronics, kind of browse through. And right away, I'm seeing this right here. I know that I talked about a product like this in the past. I know it's a good product, and it's something that really, it's cool. It does a lot of things. It's really easy to market. It's colorful, and you can see it's only $11 to $12. 11 business days is a little slow on the shipping, but considering the price, that's something that we maybe could do. Down here, we have a mini label printer. So that's really cool. You can print out stickers, maybe put them on like a notebook or something. That one could sell really well, $11 to $33. 5 business days, that's a lot faster. I've seen these do really well, but I think it's a little bit late. I've seen just a little bit too much of that. All right, so browse through this. I have a couple options already that we saw right there, but let's go back and check out golf. I'm gonna type in golf. If you are in the niche, you have a better idea, like these won't sell. People don't want iron head covers. If you go down here, I don't think people want a lighter bag. Most people use a cart. And then we have things like, this looks good. So this right here, I've actually seen these sell pretty well in the past. 14 business days is a little bit slow, but it looks like this over here is basically the same thing. $1 cheaper in 2 to 4 business days. So this allows you to draw lines on your golf ball. So you can just trace a little line. It is $8, which would mean you'd probably have to sell that for about $24, which is a little bit steep, I think, for something that's just a little clip. But if you advertise it right, that could be something that you could you could definitely sell that. Going down, we'll see what else we have. So you want to just kind of browse through, see what shipping time is, see what price is, and if you are in the niche, you'll have a general idea for what's exciting and what's not. Like a smash bag right here, that's a really good thing, but $40, it would be really hard to sell that for $120 or even $80. Like I think this thing, $40 is already what I think a consumer would want to pay for that. So I don't think I'm going to do that. Now, it's important to note that you don't have to reinvent the wheel here. So whenever you find something you like, I recommend going on TikTok and searching for it and trying to find ads, see how they made the ad, look at what the engagement is like on the ad, and get a general idea of how well that's actually performing. If it's just total junk and is not doing well at all, then you'll know that you don't have to do that. Like you can find other products and really build off of other people's success just to get an idea and kind of work in that direction. All right, so this golf ball clip right here, it actually looks like $0 for shipping, 4 days for shipping and processing time. So it could be fairly quickly that people could get this. I think now is a good time of year too, when you're earlier in the season or anytime in the summer when people are golfing. That would be a really good time to sell this. So I'm going to keep that as an option. Now this is also cool. I like this as a second option, but if I just click on the name of it, you'll see a bunch of options pop up. So you can find which one has the best shipping time, which one has the best price. And it looks like the first one had the best shipping time and price. You're looking at 11 days. I'm skeptical also with the price. I'm skeptical that this would either be really small or really just not good. And it looks like the marketing materials here, I'm not a huge fan of these market materials either. So let's go with this right here. And again, this is a niche that once you get into, I recommend staying in and iterating products within this niche. Find different golf ball tracers, find different tools that people might like. I'm going to click on import draft. Now we can click here to track the progress, and it says creating draft, 60%. All right, so now we can see that's our product right there. I'm going to click on import, and that'll send it over to our Shopify store. So if we click on products, you can see there's our product right there. One variation is available. There's only one variation of this. Also, nothing's on hold. Nothing's out of stock. That looks good. And if we click on my store back on Shopify, so let's close out of this. Let's go to products. And this should show us we have one right there. Now it says 10 in stock. That's not really the number that makes sense. They're just showing that right now on Shopify, but we have it ready to go. So we now have this product. It's connected to our store, which is awesome. But now let's go back to Autods, and I want to customize this a little bit more. If we click on the 3 dots and click on edit, so if we click on edit, then this is where we can really dial in what our profit is going to look like based on what our fees are. So our own expenses, what our profit, like what we want the profit to be, or maybe percentage what the profit is. So if I just say like 200% profit, then the sell price is about $18. I think that would kind of make sense here. You're still having 200% profit, and it's still like you're getting a nice little package there, $20. I think that's relatively easy to get people to buy that. We can have a compare price, so we can say compare at maybe $25. Other places, so we'll say save. And now we can go back to Shopify. If we refresh this, that should now be updated over here. So that's really great. Other things we can do with our product, if we go back to now, some other things we can edit with this product, of course, the description would be one. I recommend changing this, of course, as much as possible. So it really captivates the audience. And of course, product as well. We can change the title. That's a really long title. And I don't know if it necessarily explains what it is. I mean, it kind of does. So ball alignment kit with hat clip, ball marker, carrying case, swing path arrows. Okay, so that's not terrible, but maybe we'll want to change that. You can also optimize the title with AI, make it sound more professional. Let's try that. Let's just AI right, see what it comes up with. Sure, I think it actually looks pretty good. We can make a little brand name for it. So I'm going to say save. And now if we go back to Shopify and we refresh this, that should be updated with the new title. There we go, new title on the product. And now we have a product. That's awesome. I like this product a lot. I think it really has a lot of potential. Let's go down to online store and we're going to start editing the website. So step 2 is editing our website. I'm going to say customize, and that brings us into our Shopify editor. Now, a quick crash course on Shopify. They use what's called a section layout. So this little header right here is all one section. This product is another section. This image banner is a section. Testimonials with a black background here. This is one section. And within each section, you have a bunch of different elements. So we have like, of course, our text right here. We've got our 3 columns down there. And if we want to edit, it's really quite easy to do. It's all over on the left side. So we can rearrange them. Maybe if we want this header to be below the product, we can just click and drag the little 6 dots so it's below. You can see how you can rearrange the entire website like that. If we don't like something, we could just hover over it and click delete, so I don't need that title right there. And if we want to edit any section individually, we just click on it. So featured product, for example, we click on it, and now we can change the product. So select product. I'm going to select a golf ball alignment kit, and that shows it right there. Now, I don't like that first image. I don't really like how it contrasts with the background right here. So we could either change the image or we could change the background so it looks a little bit better. Now, the image isn't necessarily bad. We could change, let's say select first of all. We could change the background by changing the scheme, the color scheme that's being used for the first one. So I can say change, and maybe scheme 2 is going to be better, a white background. That looks a little bit better in my opinion, but again, the header is also a little bit weird up there. So another option is to change what the color schemes are. So let's go back to scheme 1, and we're going to click on the theme settings on the top left. We'll go down to colors and change scheme 1. Now scheme 1 has a background of this kind of like grayish yellow color. I'm just going to change that to white, and that makes it a lot cleaner. So I'm going to leave it at white. I kind of liked it before, but like I said, it contrasted with that image a little bit too much, and so I'm going to leave it like that. We can also change the button color, for example. Maybe this is going to be more of a magenta or more of like a black or whatever, something that will kind of tie in a little bit better with our store. So I'm going to go with that right there, and I'm going to make this color match as well. And so now this whole theme on the top, kind of a little more of like a dark magenta color, it kind of works well. And I'm going to go back. Now you can change your other color schemes as well right here. I'm not going to do that right now. I think it's a little redundant. You get the idea of how to do that, but let's go back to our top little button on the top for sections. Click on back. So we have this little hierarchy again, the home page. Now scrolling down on our store, we can see the price right there. It says sale. It shows the color. There's only one variant anyway. We have a photo right here. I don't have a photo to replace this with. So we could go to image banner and we could select an image first of all. And if any of these kind of work out, you can add it there. I don't think any of these are going to stretch out very well. So like this one is going to look really weird being stretched out like that, but we could add instead. So let's remove this section. And now that that's gone, we can hover right over here, click add section. And I think multi-row would look pretty good. So let's click on multi-row. And for each row, we can click on that. We can add an image. So maybe the first image is going to be the ball clip, or showing that right there, showing the alignment. Let's go back. The second row, maybe we want an image of the hat clip. And of course, if we want to have this button down here, we can label this. So I just populated with some basic text right there. And then down here, we have testimonials, so we can add that in and subscribe to our email list. I'm actually going to remove that. If we go to footer, we can disable the email sign up. And there we go. Our website, I think, looks pretty good, pretty clean for a one-page website so far. Let's say save, and let's move on to the next steps here. Remember, the key to dropshipping is to iterate as much as possible. So you want to make the minimum viable product, something that looks good and sells well, but isn't going to cost you hundreds of hours to design the website. Like this, I think, in most situations, is a really good start. So let's click on exit on the top left. Now let's go down to settings. From here, we want to rename the store. This shouldn't be called My Store. So we're going to click on the pencil icon and rename this Perfect Putt Golf Gear. I'm going to say save. And now we need a domain. So this is obviously going to be really important for anyone who goes to our website. So it's not like 84aa95.shopify.com. So if we go down here, domains, and we can buy a new domain, I'm going to say Perfect Putt Golf. Perfect Putt Golf is ready, and .com, $15 a year. I'm going to buy the domain and just make sure your address and information is correct. Now, it might take a couple minutes for this email to actually come in. So in the meantime, I'm going to go back to payments, and we're going to set up our payments so we can actually accept money from people. Obviously, a very important part of this business. And we have two ways to do that, actually a lot of ways, but two that I recommend. One is PayPal on the bottom here, and the second one is Shopify payment. So if we just click on complete account setup, it'll walk you through this. You submit details, and we can choose the product, we can choose the business category. And then down here, this is really important. The statement descriptor is going to be how you appear on your customer's bank statement. So anyone who purchases from this is very likely to go back and check their credit card statement and dispute the payment if they're seeing SP84AA, whatever. So Perfect Putt Golf should be fine. I'm going to submit for verification. And now we're going to turn on two-step authentication so that our account is more secure. We can download the recovery codes and then click continue. All right, so now Shopify Payments is set up. It's being verified right now, and then we can go down and set up PayPal. And I'm not going to do this because it's kind of the same process. You just click Setup Complete, then you'll just connect your account, and you're ready to go. For now, those are the basics that I really wanted to cover. We can close out of this. So congratulations, you already made it way further than most people out there. We have a product, we have a store, we're ready to sell, we have payments set up, we have a domain, very professional so far. The next step is really going to be marketing this product. If we go to apps on the left side, we can type in TikTok, we'll click on TikTok right here. And this is going to be our main method for advertising. We're going to install the TikTok app on Shopify. And there's really two things it allows us to do. One is going to be set up a pixel to manage your advertising. The second thing is going to be selling on TikTok if you ever decide to do that. I have a full video on how to set that up. But for this video, we're just going to focus on the advertising portion of it. So this page right here, like I said, those two options. Let's go to a new tab. Let's go to a new tab and type in santrelmedia.com/TikTok. You can either copy and paste the link, or you can just type in santrelmedia.com/TikTok, and that'll bring you to this page right here. So we're going to click on Get Started. We're going to make our account here. So we're going to enter our email. We have to accept this little thing, and now we can enter our state. And then we'll go to TikTok Ads Manager. Now we're going to be connecting this to Shopify in just a second, but it helps if you set up your account here first. And now between these two, I like to go with custom mode. So then we get to our advertising objective. And here you can see we have a lot of options, but we're going to go with website conversions, just kind of keep it as generic as possible. So we are going to be selling products on Shopify, of course. Smart Performance Campaign essentially skips the entire ad group section and you go right to the ads. I'm going to leave that set to off for this video, but feel free to play around with that on a different campaign in the future. And we scroll down to settings. For me, I'm going to name this campaign the product that we're selling because that's the only product on the site. And then I'm going to have a dash. And then I like to kind of describe what the objective is. And then we don't have any special categories. It's not credit or housing. I'm not going to have a split test. And then we have campaign budget optimization, or CBO. I'm going to leave CBO off right now. And we could set an entire campaign budget if you wanted. I recommend doing that just so you have that anyway. And I'm going to say at least $50 is what they recommend. So I'll say $50 right now. I'm going to say continue. So this is a good point to pause here and open up a new tab and go to your Shopify store. We want to connect our TikTok account. So I'm going to click on Set Up Now next to Grow Your Business on TikTok. We're going to set it up now. We're going to click on Connect. And now we're going to sign into our TikTok for Business. It's the exact password that we just made on that account. I'm going to click Login. And then right here, before we click Connect, double check that the user ID is correct. So if you go over to TikTok, you'll see that should match exactly. Then TikTok Ads Manager, we can just click on Connect right here. And then we have data sharing. I like to keep this on maximum so we can have as much information as possible when we're trying to optimize here. Then we can click on Create Pixel. It'll make a new TikTok pixel that'll be tracking everything on our website. Let's go back to TikTok, that same tab, the same page we were on. I'm going to say continue, and that will bring us to our ad group level. Now, the ad group, for me, I'm going to be targeting, you can see the available audience on the right side right now is very broad. I want to target a more affluent audience. I want to target, not everyone's going to do this, by the way. Every product is different, but for me, I'm going to call this disposable dash income. That is the group that I'm looking for. And we can choose optimization location. So what are we optimizing for? The TikTok pixel. So if we have a TikTok pixel, which we do, it's going to show up right here. I accidentally created two because I wasn't recording the first time. So we are the first one. I'm just going to select that one. And you should only have one on yours. So TikTok pixel for Shopify. It'll have some number there. And then the optimization event. You can have different things. You could say you want to optimize for people who add it to your cart, complete payment, add the payment information, a lot of different things you could optimize for. For me, I'm going to say complete payment. We want to advertise for people who actually convert to sales. Then the placements, we can choose manual or automatic placements. This is going to be, so if we just click on the little advanced strategy here, we can say select placements. For example, TikTok and the other two apps that we have down here, I'm going to deselect these, make sure we're only placing on TikTok. Showing up in search results could be a really great way to convert. I recommend not excluding that. Then we can go down here and choose user comments. Comments are totally fine. I'm going to leave those on. Video download, I will disable this because I don't want people essentially just downloading our ad and then running it as their own. And then of course we have targeting. Now we don't have a saved audience right now. You can make a saved audience in the future, but we're going to go down to demographics. First of all, location, United States. That makes sense for what I'm doing. You could add other ones too. If you ship to like the UK or Canada, add them down here as well. Then we can choose spending power. I want high spending power. And then as far as audience goes, I'm not going to choose anything there. I'm not going to choose the behaviors because I think TikTok does a really good job of optimizing that on its own. And as you can see, there's really quite a lot that you can do here. You could save this as a new audience as well. So if you want to use the same audience on other ad groups in the future, you could save it. And we could choose our daily budget. I'm going to say $50 because that was the campaign budget anyway. It recommends $70 to optimize your conversions. For the purposes of this video, I'm just going to do 50. Feel free to do a little bit more than that if you want, but I recommend not doing too much in the beginning until you start to really optimize it and figure out what works best. This is really just a learning experience for the first couple days or even first week. And then after you start to really get some data and figure out what's working, you can start to really put more money behind the things that are actually being successful. And then the bidding and optimization, again, this is targeting conversions. That's what we already know. And we can have either maximum delivery or a cost cap. So I'm just going to leave it on maximum delivery. So let's click next. So now we get to the third tier, which is ads. Now, I don't recommend smart creative ads right now. I think we're going to make our own that could be a lot better than some auto-generated video. So let's go with our own. Now, here we have ad name. So I'm going to call this one. So we're going to have a lot of ads within this ad group. Now we're going to set custom identity. We can choose a logo. The ad format is going to be a single video, and you could add it from your library. You could create a new one right now, or what we're going to do is actually upload one. So we're going to upload that in just a second. I'm going to talk about how I make it as well, but let's kind of go down and just make a couple other things right here. We can add a disclaimer if there's any kind of legal risk or anything like that you need to add, and we could choose where the destination actually is. So TikTok instant page, you could do that. I'm not going to do that. We have a custom URL. So let's go back to our Shopify page, go to products. We'll click on this right here, which is the product, and then we can go to view. So this is our product page. I'm just going to copy that, and we can paste that URL right here. All right, and then we get to the ad. There's really three main ways I would recommend making the ad. The first way, especially for beginners, this is more hands-off. You're going to spend a little more money with this, but there are pros and cons. This is using a platform such as Bands of Ads, for example, where you could have them make an ad or make a UGC ad on there. And really, UGC stands for user-generated content, like someone showing your product and talking a little bit more about it. So this is going to be advantageous because, like I said, this is very little effort for you. You don't have to know a whole lot about what makes a good ad. They're going to be doing a lot of that for you. But the downside is they aren't necessarily the best ads. Sometimes they'll show products that maybe aren't even yours in some extra B-roll in the video, or otherwise, sometimes it just isn't going to be quite as custom as you want. Maybe you won't set the same message, but still, it can be a really good start. The second option is to message a lot of smaller creators on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, people that you know have camera gear, people that already are doing this, but maybe they don't have a huge following. Maybe there's somebody who just quit their job and went full-time as a creator, or maybe there's somebody who's just doing it as a side hustle, and that would be a great way to just kind of pay them. So you're giving them some money, obviously helping them out, and they can help you by making 2 or 3 or 5 ads or whatever you want. Maybe you want to do one ad with 5 different creators, and with this, you kind of have 2 options. You can either sponsor a video that they make and publish on their platform, and then make sure that you get the creative rights to that, so you're able to use that ad and really promote it. Or the other option is just to have them make the content for you and not even put it on their page. They don't even have to publish it if they don't want to. You're just paying them to make a UGC ad for you. So this second option takes a little bit more work to negotiate with creators, and you really have to find good ones and make sure you have a good contract. But all of that really can be done. Like ChatGPT can help you through the contracts and stuff like that. It can be a really good way to kind of customize what the ad is going to be. Maybe you have 2 rounds of revisions on the ad. You get a lot of people who probably already have a better idea of what makes a captivating video than what you do. And in general, this can be a really positive way to kind of spread the message about your product on their platforms as well, especially if they are creators who are kind of already in the niche and know a lot more about what people really want, what the right packaging could actually be for that video. And then the third option, no offense, but you're probably not going to be the best at marketing when you're just getting started out, but it's still worth practicing and doing on your own. So you could make your own ad. I have a video that kind of breaks down what you want to do when you're making an ad, what you want to say and when. Another idea, of course, is to just watch other ads out there of similar products and kind of mimic what they did. Don't copy the script exactly, obviously, but for example, the product that we're selling in this video, maybe you'll watch a bunch of other golf training ads and see what the other tools are really recommending. trending and what the ads are set up like and which ones are converting well, and kind of take some inspiration from that to make your own ad. And this is good because it's totally free to make your own ads. You can test them out organically by putting them all on TikTok or on Instagram without promoting them and just see which ones get the most views and the most engagement. That one is not going to be like the end all solution for beginners. Like I said, you're probably not going to be great at this. So I recommend choosing 2 out of the 3 options that I gave you. Eventually making your own ads, it could be a very viable option, but each of them, like I said, has a lot of pros and cons. So I have one right here. I'm just going to upload this ad right here just to kind of show you guys how this is going to be set up. We're going to upload, and now it'll be uploading that. And then if we have any interactive add-ons, we can create them. So for example, if you have a discount code, I did mention like discount code Mike would be buy one, get one free or something. You can go and like this one right here would add that. So we can say create, that'll add it into our video. I'm not going to do that right now for this one. Again, we don't have disclaimer. Everything else looks good. And then we can say submit. And then we can add our payment method. So this ad will actually run. TikTok will process your payment. It says creating ad, and then TikTok is going to review this. Once it's approved, it will run automatically. It's all set up. So we can go back to campaigns now, and you'll be able to manage everything right here. So we've got our campaign, our ad group, and our ads. Okay, so currently it is in review, like I said, and you can turn things on or off. You can also create new ones, or if you wanted to maybe duplicate that, you could just say copy. So we could select it, we could say copy, and this will make a copy of that same thing, and we can make some subtle variations in that. So now the last thing we want to do is go to our store and place a sample order. I think this is really advantageous to understand what the customer actually experiences, what the shipping time is actually like, what the product quality actually is, and of course you can use the product once you have it in future marketing materials on social media as well. If I go to a new window and I go to perfectputtgolf.com, there we go. So this is our store. I think that looks really good so far. We can add it to the cart, just go through this whole process here. The cart is on the right side. Let's go to checkout. Let's just say pay now. It says your order is being processed, and it should give us a really nice, there we go, look at that, nice confirmation window. They show us a map there. All right, so now if we go back to Autods, we have this little pop-up, congratulations on your first sale, that's great. Now if we close out of this and we go to orders, we see our first order was made. Currently it's pending, and we can fulfill this ourselves if we don't have automated fulfillment. I'll talk about automated fulfillment in a second, but just to show you what would happen here, if you click on the left side, you'll see who the purchaser was, name, address, phone number, and this is what you'll need when you're actually shipping it. So I'm going to copy the address right now, copy the address, and I can close out of this. And now over here, we can see the buy side is where we're actually buying it from. Now this one does come from Amazon. I think that's a little bit of a negative when you're selling products, that it is also on Amazon. So a lot of people could potentially just buy it on Amazon instead. But then we can go over to Amazon, place the order using these fulfillment details, and have it shipped directly to them. So now what we want to do is go down to settings. We have 3 different ways we can fulfill these orders. One of them is going to be manually fulfilling them. The second way is going to be setting up a buyer account. So a buyer account over here, you can add a buyer account, and that'll order from, for example, Amazon and ship it for you. Or what we want to do right now is actually go, so if we go to supplier settings, we go to orders, we want to make sure automatic orders is enabled and process orders using fulfilled by Autods service. So that's going to make it substantially easier. You don't have to worry about your Amazon account getting deactivated or anything like that. Autods is going to fulfill the orders for us, which is really nice. Now, in order to do that, let's go back to orders. We have 2 things we need to do. One, we need to fund our account. So we need to manage our balance and fund the account up there. We can load a balance. And the second thing is going to be to buy credits. So every time that an order is fulfilled, it'll cost us 1 credit. So you can get 20 credits for 50 cents per credit. If you're selling a lot more, it's substantially cheaper per credit, but that'll automatically fulfill it for us. And that way, when we're having more and more orders, we don't need to worry about going in here and manually fulfilling every single order. So let's click on this little button up here. We'll click on load balance. And we have several different options. I'm going to load just $50 for now for this tutorial. We can do a credit card, PayPal, or Payoneer. I'm going to go with PayPal. I'm going to add the account, and then we can say load balance. And now $50 were added to our balance. We can say done. And the other thing we have to do is buy credits, like I said. So let's just get 20 credits just for now. Buy credits, say continue. And now that we have all of that, we can go here and send to auto order. So it'll automatically fulfill the entire thing. In the future, that should automatically happen. But for now, we just had to send to auto order, and that should be managed. Now, you'll see on the right side, we have a couple little things here. This will give us more insights into what's going on. So you can see this completed by the fulfilled by Autods service. That's great. We can add an internal note if we want to, and of course the options to edit and things like that. So there you have it. That's a tutorial on how to start dropshipping. If you learned this much in just 30 minutes, imagine where you'll be in 6 months or a year if you continue to learn and really focus on this. So I hope you take this as a personal challenge to build a successful business, to iterate on different products, find ones that work, to iterate on your ads, and really evolve into a business that earns you a lot of money. So thank you again for watching this video. If you didn't already get started, please consider using the links down below to get started at no extra cost to you. It helps us keep videos like this free. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.